Hi, I'm Chuck Gibson. This is Loveland Beacon Talks. Today we are joined by Christina Jeranek, candidate for the Loveland School Board, in our second of a four-part special edition, Getting to Know Your Loveland School Board Candidates. Now it's my pleasure to welcome our guest candidate, Christina Jeranek. So welcome, Christina Jeranek. Thank you so much for joining us here on Loveland Beacon Talks as we get to know our Loveland School Board candidates.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate your time today.
Well, trust me, it's a pleasure having you. And we're going to get right to it. So, Christina, we'll start with, again, it's getting to know your Loveland School Board candidates. So, who is Christina Jeranek? Tell us about you.
Christina Jeranek?
Who is
that? I am a wife, a mother of two Loveland students, and a volunteer in our community. I have really devoted my time since we moved here back in 2013 to raise our children, experience what Loveland has, and then start to give back to our community once my kids are of age to kind of not be hugging my legs anymore and like needing mom and attachment. So through the years, I have grown to love and appreciate everything that Loveland has to offer, and we've really enjoyed our time here. And this is just another way for me to give back to the community and volunteer my time in various ways, whether it's with the City of Loveland, through the committees I'm on, Girl Scouts, my kids' sports, and fundraising coordinating that I do, and now rooting for votes for Loveland School Board.
There you go. Well, hey, real quick, so two children
Yes.
who have been or still are going through Loveland schools.
Still going. Christopher is 8, and he's in third grade. Sorry, third grade.
Don't tell him second grade. Mom.
Oops. And then Jane, she is 11, about to turn 12 in 6th grade this year.
Yeah, so a few years of mom of
Yes.
Loveland students.
Yes, absolutely.
Which, so you've experienced it firsthand in that way. Mm-hmm. Well, so, it's interesting because you said obviously you're active as a volunteer.
Yes.
With like City of Loveland committees, it sounds like. What's a couple, what have you done with the City of
So
Loveland
I'm on the
committees?
beautification committee.
Okay.
So we do the planners around
Right.
downtown Loveland, and I'm
Make
also
everything pretty.
We make everything pretty. We love it. And then I'm also on special events. So I help run 4th of July, Hearts of Fire, and then some other events that are coming up here.
So do you get your chisel out and do the ice sculptures for Hearts of Fire?
I wish I could. That is one of my favorites because you can do these little scavenger hunts. But no, with Hearts of Fire, I run the little Miss Valentine, little Mr. Valentine camp or pageant.
That is
I
such
put
a
that
neat
one
little
on.
thing,
So
yeah.
I work with the stage company and
Right.
putting that together each year.
I thought that was a really fun thing.
I think it was really cool this past year.
Which is the perfect transition for me there because that's some really fun stuff.
It is, yes.
So then the question becomes, why are you seeking election to the Loveland School Board?
So I have been in education for the past a little over 17 and a half years. I am currently a school counselor at Winton Woods High School. I work with 11th and 12th graders, preparing them for their future, and I do a lot of practice for state testing as well as ACT prep and college credit plus classes and such. But through my time, my want to give back has led me more wanting to do more with the schools. I volunteer in the schools for different events for my own children. I see what goes on a day-to-day in my school, but I see when I go and volunteer at the schools here how things are going. And I feel that it's the right time, right place for me to get more involved in our community and give back what I can give and to promote student success.
Excellent. That sounds like a reasonable reason
Yes.
to seek it. Again, because, being a volunteer and being active is a lot of fun. Being elected to the school board obviously is a lot of work. So that's why my question has that tilt to it of like, why would you want to do this?
Well, I feel a lot of it comes naturally. Having the background that I have and being in education for so long, a lot of what I've learned through conferences that I've gone to for school board campaigns, running a campaign, and so forth, and working with people, seeing people in different perspectives, it goes hand in hand with what I do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So I feel it really does come very naturally for me and how I want to support our community and support our staff and students.
Well, I think you're going to continue on that point because that's the transition right here.
Okay.
The next question is maybe, I'll put it this way. So what are the three things, so I limit you because we could talk forever, I'm sure, but just to say three things, two or one if that's okay.
Sure.
But the three things that you think, make you uniquely qualified to be a member of the school board. What are those three?
So I feel having good listening skills, and as I am a counselor, I listen to people all day long. I think what our community needs is that support line, that link to bring us back together as that whole family. We have been Loveland Tigers. We need to come back together as one. We may not always agree on what we believe, and that's okay, but we have to find ways to compromise and bring us back together. So having that listening ear, taking in, I am one of those quiet people who will listen, process, and then speak. So I fully do everything to research and know what people want, but also be able to give information in a way that everybody can relate to and bring our community back to what we need for our students.
Well, I think, if it's fair for me to say, that listening and communication skill is a big thing.
It's huge.
So what would you say is number two, if that's number one for you? And they don't necessarily have to be in order, but that's one of the, three things.
So one of the things that I really want to focus with the students here is building that college and career readiness skills. We've been pushing college, everywhere has been pushing college for a long time, but there's that career aspect where students may not be they want to be more hands-on. So I want to push a lot of building that future learning and what I'm capable of doing. And I know we have it here, but it's just building more partnerships, maybe doing apprenticeship programs, growing in that aspect so students know that there's other routes that they can take to grow and become.
Well, and that's, for you, uniquely qualified because as a counselor, especially for the 11th and 12th graders, that's a big part of, that's a very familiar part for you, I would say.
Yes.
Is the right word.
But bringing that down to the younger grades as well, I know through state you need to at least have something from 6th grade on, but having career days or going out and doing field trips wherever we can, just bringing people in to see what people do on a day-to-day and see what students are interested in.
So what's another qualification of Christina Jeranek that you would say is that makes you, that makes you a good person to be chosen to serve on the Board of Education?
Sure. I am active. I'm an advocate for student growth and empowerment. I want what's best, and I want our students to reach their highest potential. Again, that comes very naturally. So I'm a mom, I'm a Girl Scout leader. I want to grow our kids to be strong leaders so they can develop their skills and be out there in the real world and experience what they need to experience to take that next step and improve their lives. So I think having my leadership abilities, being active in different community involvements, and showing the children that I have and I work with on a day-to-day basis and through my volunteering, that developing that leadership quality in children is very important.
I was just going to say using your leadership skills to help develop leadership in the students within the school. That might even lend itself to helping develop the leadership with the school board and the school administration. So that's a great qualification. So, okay, let's say you get elected. What do you believe, even if not elected, what do you feel right now are the three priorities for the Loveland City School District going forward for, let's say, the next 5 years? Everybody always uses that question, next 5 years. But serving on a board, what are the three things that you find are very important for the Loveland City School District right now?
Kind of goes back to that other question where listening and communication is huge. Right. So since I've already touched base on that, I will just go back to that one. But that is very important to hear what people are interested in, what they are concerned with, and how we can work with one another to grow. Another area is equipping our youth with appropriate skills and abilities to work with one another. As you get into the real world, you're going to have to work with one another. There's going to be conflict and resolution along the way, and we need to grow that within our students and even staff. They have issues with other staff members, so it's important that we are training our staff, developing our youth to know how to appropriately work with one another, grow and develop in positive relationships, teamwork, and just know how to handle things appropriately.
You just said the word I was waiting for there, and I was going to throw it into your I was going to say it for you if you didn't, but relationship, because it's kind of, relationship building.
Yes.
Among the staff, but for the students, so that they can take that relationship building skill out into the world, is what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. If I heard correctly, I just want to make sure.
It's very important.
So,
another area is fiscal responsibility. I'm very frugal myself, so I love to live within our means. But when things arise or when we are a five-star rated school, we need to maintain that or even go up in the rankings for being one of the best schools that we are. We are a good school. We are a great school. But we need to continue to strive to continue to do even more for our students because we're in an ever-changing world and things are different from when I was in school to how kids are raised and taught today. So we need to make sure we're keeping up with everything that's changing and providing, again, that professional development to the teachers so they're aware of what's going on so we can provide the best quality education for our students.
Yeah. Well, and you're touching on it there in terms of, how well the school, Loveland City School District is rated currently, education factors, but you're talking about the fiscal responsibility, and obviously that's been a big issue of contention over some votes for or against the levy, which, thankfully, I guess, in terms of the schools or the districts funded now with the passing of the levy, whether people are happy, mad, sad, or glad about it, it's not the point. The fact is there's some funding right now. But how do you carry over that, in terms of your point there with regard to fiscal responsibility, getting the school rated, or how is the school rated now for fiscal responsibility? I know the answer to that question, but, we've seen the reports and
Yes.
and the campaign for the levy, but how do you keep pushing for that true fiscal responsibility so that, and I guess the gist of it is, Christina, I know you're aware, putting words in your mouth again, but I'm sure you're aware. So cost per student in the Loveland City School District is among the lowest in the state.
Correct.
While the school remains
High.
ranked at, the top in the state.
So that, to me, tells us that we're using our money conservatively and giving out our best efforts to make our students shine and grow.
Yeah.
As we move further, for example, this operating levy only does so much. We still don't, there's things that we weren't able to bring back because of the operating levy, but that's something that we work with in our 5-year forecast. What can we do now to bring these certain areas, could it be arts, music, gifted program and such, back into our schools?
Yeah.
Hopefully that will happen soon because those are programs and opportunities that will enlighten our students to learn who they are as individuals.
That explains, where the fiscal responsibility fits, in terms of you saying that's a priority. It has to remain a priority.
Oh, yes,
bottom line.
absolutely.
So, kind of last question for you. And again, even before I ask this, Christina, thank you so much for joining us here and sharing your story and helping the people get to know who Christina Jeranek is. But now, the big question, if you're ready.
Okay.
Why should Loveland City School District voters choose Christina Jeranek?
I generally care. I want what is best for our community, our students, and staff. It takes a village to raise a child, and it's important that we give our all to our children here in Loveland. I consider everybody my babies. My Girl Scouts are my babies. My students at Winton Woods are my babies.
Well, that's going to be like 5,000.
I'll have 5,000 babies that I love and want to help, develop their skills. So it's very important that we as a community can give back any efforts that we can as a whole. But individually, I know that I have what it takes. I am in it on for it all. And I do this on a day-to-day basis. I'm in schools. I see what's going on. I know the changes coming for graduation requirements. Again, this is number 5 years of changing graduation requirements. But I know what I learn in my career, I want to bring to our community, want to bring to our students and our staff so we can continue being ranked at 5 stars and grow and go beyond 5 stars if that's even possible. And just do what I can to help our children be the best that they can be.
Perfect. Christina, thank you very much.
Well,
Actually,
thank you.
is there anything that you want to add, like I didn't ask you? Is there something that you'd want to, just an additional?
Sure. I would say if you have more questions or want to learn more about me, please go to my website. It's Jeranek for lovelandboe.org. I also have a Facebook page, Friends of Christina Jeranek, so you're welcome to join that as well. But we've been posting all kinds of information, things that we do on a weekly basis, things that I've been involved in throughout this time and everything. So just learn more about me, ask me questions. We have an information form there, so I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has.
Great. Now I really will let you go. So again, thanks for joining us. It was great having you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
You bet. Until next time, Christina. Thanks.
Yes.
That was Christina Jeranek, one of 4 candidates for the 2 open seats on Loveland School Board. You can learn more about her campaign online at www.jeranekforlovelandboe.org. Listen again next time as we welcome another Loveland School Board candidate on this special 4-part series, Getting to Know Your Loveland School Board Candidates. I'm Chuck Gibson, saying thanks for listening here on Loveland Beacon. Loveland Beacon Talks is a presentation of Loveland Beacon Digital Media and Gibson Communications, LLC.